Good morning and welcome to Soul Pathways and Divine Adventures podcast. I am so excited to have Emily Brandt with me today. Her business is Reiki and Deeper Healing by Emily. So, welcome, Emily.
Hello, and thank you.
Hello. You're welcome. You're my very first official. Well, Nicole was my official. Now you're my second official.
It's an honor. It is a huge honor.
The one thing I just love to do with this podcast is just really highlight other businesses and people in the energy field and the work that they are doing. So I just want to let you take a few moments in your own words to just explain and introduce who you are and anything that you kind of want to share.
Okay, again, thank you. My name is Emily Brandt. I did created Deeper Healing, a Reiki and Deeper Healing with Emily. What it really comes down to is there are so many different ways that people kind of work with different modalities. Some people work better with sound healing. Some people work better with hypnosis. What I like to bring to the table and offer is Reiki. And then also, I'm studying the Akashic Records, how to become a Akashic Records reader. So that's a little bit more in the future as we are always evolving. But right now, I really, Reiki, energy healing is just that spark that drives me so very much. And that's what I like to offer. And just positive encouragement. Sometimes I'm a little bit like grossly optimistic, and I'm aware. But that's a domino effect that we can all bring to the world, not just ourselves, but it is a domino effect. I think it's for every person you interact with, however you interact with them, 25 people that person you interacted with, they're affected. So it really is shared energy. So just wherever I go, however I'm going about it, I want to be positive and uplifting any way I can help.
I love that, and I just have want to do a shout out because I met Emily through Runic when Runic started up Runic Apothecary, and I've been so very blessed to have you a part of my life. You are just a ray of sunshine, and literally, you spread sunshine wherever you go in positivity. And I thank you for your healing energy. It's just it's been a blessing in my life. I know that. So
Ditto. Ditto.
oh, awesome. So let's just take a few steps back first. Again, we know we kind of did an introduction. Just kind of how did you decide or how did you come into this energy work and follow this spiritual path and decide that this is what you wanted to do?
Thank you very much for asking that. It isn't as common as a question as I thought it would be in this kind of work. And I'm very always excited and happy to share it. It was a very epiphanous moment. I don't even know if that's a word, but let's say for argument's sake, it
We're
is a
gonna
word.
make it a word.
It's a word. Yeah, because the world that you can create anything. I was actually what drew me to it is I had a lot of health complications in my life. I was riddled with autoimmune diseases. Key phrase there was riddled, past tense. The ability
Mhm.
to heal yourself it's just magic, and it's also a huge honor, but it is absolutely magic. And I was at my wit's end. I was going to the doctors. I was on 13 different medications. I was in incredible pain. There were times I couldn't even roll over on the couch. The pain was just, it felt almost like my muscles were shredding from razor blades on the inside. And I couldn't even walk. And I didn't know anything about chakras or crystals or Reiki, anything metaphysical at all. I walked into a shop one day. I felt the pull. I mean, the signs were all there looking back, like retrospectively. I had a cardinal flying into my window in my living room for like 6 months straight, like flying head first. And I was starting to research. I'm like, why is this happening? Because I thought, well, maybe it's seeing its reflection. So I tried all these different ways, but there was just copious amounts of signs that I ended up listening to. But it's like the squeakiest wheel gets the oil. And my story is my wheel needed to get real squeaky. So I
I
was
love that.
I couldn't handle it anymore. I was literally it was my last ditch. It was my Hail Mary. I was like, I have nothing else to lose. I'm gonna try Reiki. I was actually a little nervous. And bless my best friend Amber. I went with her because I didn't know the person that, that was the Reiki master I went to.
Okay.
And I was a little taken off guard because it was a male practitioner. And through my childhood trauma and, my issues at that time, I was nervous. So I actually paid for her to have a session first. I kind of made her my guinea pig. And I profusely, like, I just apologized so much to her. But she came out and she's like, it was amazing. Absolutely go for it. I went in. And during that first Reiki session, in the middle of it, I actually shot up like a 90-degree springboard and exclaimed, "This is what I'm meant to do." Like, it was so profound.
Wow.
I didn't even know that could even be a feeling or emotion, to like just have that sense of, this is it. This is exactly why you're on earth. I didn't even know that could be a concept. So again, a huge honor. And I
Mhm.
just went down the rabbit hole of basically everything metaphysical and esoteric with energy healing, but really it was just so much just Reiki. And I asked quite regularly with my guides, like, it was definitely with Runic Apothecary, you and Nicole too, that it was just an automatic confirmation. These are the people that you're supposed to align with. That soul contract that we pre-planned before we incarnate, like, you're going to meet at this time, you're going to go through these experiences, you're going to go through this heartache, so you become the best version of yourself, to have that domino effect and kind of spread that light to everybody else so that they can become the best versions of themselves. So really it
Glad that
was
you go ahead, sorry.
that was my driving point, was that that first session.
No, and I'm glad that you brought up that the experiences that you went through weren't just all like wonderful. Like there was those ups and downs because people don't seem to understand that sometimes. But we have to go through those downs and the lows to listen to the universe and understand what our purpose is.
Yes, yes. Very loud. Those messages I received were very loud. I went to the doctor. There was a point in my life where I made dinner for my family. I put the food on the table. I got in my car and I was fully determined to drive my car straight first into a brick wall.
Oh
Um,
wow!
didn't do it, you know. Sorry be told, I'm still here today. I ended up driving to my brother's house, and bless my entire family. I don't even
Mhm.
think you know how low I was. But just talking it out, kind of starting from that point, because we have to speak our truth. The more that we repress it and hold it in, the more that energy kind of stays and crystallizes into diseases within our body, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Um,
Yep.
and so that was my first step. To then ended up going to the doctor, and just a real simple. They did a CBC, a complete blood count. They checked my vitamin D level. So a normal person's vitamin D level should be between 80 and 100. My doctor said, if you ever have a doctor that tells you otherwise, and they're not okay with if they are okay with a lower number of your vitamin D level, fire that doctor. It should be
Wow!
between 80 and 100. And my number was 4.4.
Wow!
It was dangerously low. So living
Yeah.
in Wisconsin, we are geographically, we're predetermined to be vitamin D deficient, because
Right.
we're not close to the equator at all. I
Right.
mean, we're pretty far away, not the farthest away, but we're significantly far enough away. And that's why a lot of people, I feel, end up self-medicating in our area, because deep down they don't realize they just might be a little sad. Well,
Yeah,
that
that's
was my
pretty
story.
common around here. That's sad, because we have that darkness starting, in October, end of September, October, all the way through like March. And they don't,
Yeah.
if they don't get that natural vitamin D, everyone thinks that's bad. You need that vitamin D from the sun.
Oh yes, absolutely. Our
Yeah.
we are genetic beings. Like, we do
Yeah.
need very specific substances. Everyone's a little bit different, kind of like with energy, where people just kind of resonate a little bit better with different modalities. The same with what we put into our bodies. So I know
Right.
for myself, through a lot of trial and error, I need vitamin D with vitamin K. Vitamin K helps your body actually absorb the vitamin D.
Yep.
I also need
Okay.
lions. I don't need. I require lion's mane. Lion's mane's from a mushroom. It helps with mental clarity and focus because I have lived a very creative life, as what the doctors would call ADHD. Um, I like to refer to it as what is it? A line to higher dimensional. I don't know. There's a fun little acronym, but
Yes, there is, right, because the ADHD, that you're up here, like, your level of thinking is way up here. So, yes.
it's fun. But the natural vitamin, the lion's mane, does help kind of keep me functional in the 3D
Yeah.
society. And then I also take, oh, I forget how to pronounce it, ashwagandha,
Ashwagandha.
bless your heart, that one.
Yep.
Yep. So
I've
those are
been
the,
looking
and
into ashwagandha pills, like gummies and stuff. I take lion's mane in my coffee. I get lion's mane mushroom organic coffee, but I've been looking into the ashwagandha myself lately. So
really, oh,
what do
there
you,
are no coincidences.
I know. So how do you feel that that has changed you? Like, did the mental clarity, or what has it helped you sleep, or what has it done?
Energy, actually.
Okay.
Not so I have, my rituals that I do energetic work with Reiki and meditation and just simple yoga, but that physical, that tangible vitamin I'm taking that our bodies do require sometimes, that one just seems to. I don't even drink coffee. I mean,
Okay.
I take it back. I did have a coffee this morning. It was a treat yourself day, but
Yeah.
I don't even
Yes.
remember the last time I made coffee at my house. I
Okay.
certainly haven't made coffee since I moved into my new place, and haven't turned on my TV either. So
Good for you.
thank you.
You know what? We get so hot. My TV wasn't working quite right this morning, the remote. I just switched from one service to another for internet. And then, of course, that supplies your TV. And I was like, I really only care about if my internet's going to work today. But then the TV wouldn't go on, and it was the remote control. But it made me realize again, like, just how hung up we are, and the fact that there's nothing on TV to watch, but I just had to make sure it was working. Why? Like,
Yeah, I get it. Habit. It's very. I mean, all the things that we do they're very habit forming.
yep.
Um,
Yes.
and it's a comfort thing sometimes. And I'm not
Yeah.
knocking any TV or any media by any chance. I think it all gives us the information that will bring us to where we're supposed to be. I
There's
mean,
good TV. Like, I love watching Gaia TV. They've got some really good programs, but again, yeah, I'm not knocking anyone and what they want to watch. I just, I love my YouTube because then I get these like wonderful YouTube videos that are just all meditation music, and they're very calming. It's all free. And I just love to put that on while I'm going around the house. And every time I walk in the living room, I see this, really cool picture on the screen. I'm like, oh, it just makes me relaxed.
absolutely. And that
Yeah.
I feel that is more. You have more. I don't know your free will is more apparent when it comes to like YouTube or like choosing exactly what you want to watch versus the few channels that are pre-programmed and you flip through. I always refer to
Exactly.
television as it's tell a vision. They're just telling you something, kind of to
Mhm.
program you in a way.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, where I like to choose the information, having that power, really owning that what you command into your reality. And I do command it to be very positive, to beneficial and for my soul, for the collective, for my community. So that's I do not miss TV whatsoever. I just don't. I
No.
don't. I can't even remember what I used to watch on TV, to be honest.
Well, I have to laugh because as much as I'm on the spiritual path, I do love Halloween and scary movies.
Oh
Not the
yeah,
old classics. I don't like the gory, Halloween, but the old classics. But it gets harder and harder to find anything good on to watch. Hocus Pocus was on last night. I was very excited.
that is one of my daughter's favorite movies.
Yeah, Hocus Pocus 1 and Hocus Pocus 2 was on, but I fell asleep during Hocus Pocus 2. But I was like, well, that's like good entertainment. Like, that's not all the other stuff that you see. So,
I think of those classics too. Those are planting seeds of thought, whether we're aware of it or not.
oh,
Um,
yes.
I really feel that as truth, but that might just be my truth. It might not be for everybody else.
And I love that. and like when I talk with you and the other people that are in our community, we all understand, we all realize we all have our own truth, but we totally respect everyone else's truth and what they want to say. And I think that's one of the greatest things on this adventure or on this journey, I guess I should say. So
I agree, and it wasn't easy to get to that place, of understanding, because there was well, first I was in a state of, defense, I was in that fight or flight. I was real stuck in that place, that mental cloudiness, I would wanna say, but it brought a lot of judgment and anger with other people, sometimes resentment, not so much, that was never really my thing, but it was uncomfortable looking back on it now, knowing that I felt that way. But I did, we all get past it. And now I do know, like, because everyone has a different story and experience and something beautiful and wonderful to bring to this world. And their little bit of different story, their little bit of different truth, it's going to tweak and affect someone else's understanding and self betterment, I
I
feel.
agree. Yeah. And like I said, everyone has their own path to take. And since starting, my path, I mean, I've seen people come in and out of my life. Some people came out and now they're back in, or vice versa. And you go with because you believe and you give it up to the universe to do what the right thing is.
I have unwavering faith in the universe. I know that that is the trust fall of all trust falls. Like that girl has got my back, your back, everybody in my life. I just know. I just this knowing that I wake up every day, everything is gonna be just fine. I get a flat tire, I'm not even bothered. I have like the anxiety level is just gone because this is supposed to happen. And
Yeah.
there's divine timing for literally everything. And it's very when I came to that place of clarity, it was just like, oh, thank you. I did
Isn't it
not know
just like an
you.
aha moment, right? Like you just feel
Oh,
like the angels are singing. You're like, wow.
yeah, and I was listening, man. That choir was loud, like, oh, I
Yeah,
love it though. It's very,
I
very
love it.
peaceful.
Oh, so cool. So cool. So, we kind of maybe talked about this, but during your whole path or journey, what divine adventures have you experienced on your soul pathway?
Oh, divine adventures.
Yeah,
I mean, every day is an adventure. And every day is
I love
divine.
that.
So I guess I mean every day, every day.
I love it.
My biggest takeaway that I've really adapted with people, like my interaction, it's because we don't have to become this great big guru or yogi or to get to this tier that people set up or think that is set up. My interactions, my daily interactions, your daily interactions, that's the smallest adventure that really drives our purpose, in my opinion. So when I go to the gas station, I always make sure and tell that clerk, enjoy the rest of your shift. I want that person to know I respect you, I see you, and what you're doing, it does not define you, but who you are is. And so, like, even though I'm not like literally communicating that, I am in my mind. I even do this with doctors in like professional settings. And I always say, enjoy the rest of your shift to let people know, like, I see you, I honor you, I respect you, and we are all in this together. So that adventure, that's a daily adventure that I just incorporate with my spirituality. My every day is an adventure.
I
But
love it.
I would say like my friendships and the people I've made, that it's like a soul family. It
Yes.
really is.
It is a soul family. And I think the biggest thing is living our authentic selves and learning to just let go of ego, right? And we're always learning that lesson. Um, but everybody, I think the biggest thing, you hit the nail right there on the coffin. I hate to say that expression, but it's Halloween, so I'll say it. But
That was good.
um,
That was good.
everybody wants to be just seen and
Yeah.
heard. That's just to be seen. as who, like
Mhm,
you said, who they are. That shift working at a gas station doesn't define them for who they are inside, but you
mhm.
telling them have the rest, have a great day, and the rest of your shift, or like you're seeing them, and that means a lot to people.
And it throws them off because they get in this routine, and I see it. My daughter see it because I do this daily. I really do, and I've
Good.
been doing this for years now. And you can just almost every time they're not expecting it, and they get this um routine response of you too, and then they're like, "Oh no, that's not what I meant." I'm like, "There you go, there you go. That
Yeah,
isn't."
you got it. The light bulb went on.
Yep,
It made you
yep, yep,
think a
yep.
little.
Yes, and, that's kind of like my fun little eureka moment, and my daughter's get a kick out of it too, I think, I hope anyways, but, because they see me do the things I do. They probably don't always know why I'm doing the things I'm doing
Yeah.
and why I'm doing them, but they'll catch on.
Yeah. Are they following in your footsteps?
I would hope that they're following in their own footsteps.
Yeah. There.
Um,
Good answer.
Thank you. I mean, I hope one day, I mean, we can get past the whole mom and her weird, woo-woo stuff. But they both experienced Reiki, and um, I do share that with them, whether it's like remote Reiki, like distance Reiki, or actual, hands-on. So they know that it's real. They have experienced it. It's just,
Mhm.
I don't want to push my agenda, and I respect however they are supposed to go down this path in life.
Good
Maybe
for you.
yeah, maybe their last incarnation, they were the Reiki, teacher masters, and now it's my time and it's their time just to kind of relax. Who knows?
Yeah. So I love that answer. You get great answers. So I guess one of my other questions is what kind of sets Reiki and Deeper Healing by Emily apart?
Ooh,
What makes
that's
it
a good,
special and unique to you, I guess?
I guess that's a really good question. Um, I don't know if it sets me apart. And I don't know if I want to be set apart. But I can confidently let you know that it is my individuality, just like yours and everyone else's. Whoever you
Mhm.
naturally are gravitated towards, everything happens for a reason. So divine timing, if there's some type of interaction where I am blessed to come in your life and vice versa, that to me is what sets it apart. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter where you go or who you see for healing. I just want healing for everybody. So
Right.
I know I probably should be like promoting, maybe I don't know, but it's not. The important to me is just that authenticity and
Yeah.
healing. And if it resonates that I'm that person that you're going to work best with, awesome. I will be your biggest cheerleader forever, even though time is an illusion, but that's a different podcast.
Yes. We could have a whole hour or two on that one, if not more.
Yeah, I see what you did there. That was funny. But I don't know if there really is anything that sets me apart, and that's okay. And it's not really my big drive. It's just getting the word out there, seeing people on their healing journey. If I'm a part of it, awesome, huge honor. If not, like I said, no matter what, I'm going to be on that sideline cheering everybody on.
Right there, I think you answered the question right without even answering it. What sets you apart is your from what I know of you, you are someone's biggest cheerleader, like you said, regardless if they're coming to you or if they're going to some, other healing modality. And it's that light and that positivity that you bring with you and supporting someone no matter what. I think and
Oh,
we all try to do that, but you do that really well. And I that's one of the things I love about you. So
oh, thank you kindly.
you're welcome.
That's just who I am. That's who I've always really been. I'd like to think, anyway.
You are. So is there any like one I know there's lots of things that have happened, in your life to get you to where you are right now, but is there any like one experience that you can think of that really kind of shaped getting you to where you are?
Oh, that pinpoint.
Yeah.
Well, I think that childhood trauma was my biggest catalyst. I think trauma, like I said, like that squeaky wheel, that's
Yeah.
gonna get you the
Okay.
oil, you know. My very first memory, I was 5 years old. and I wanted to be the big girl and help my mom bring in the groceries. And I brought in, at that time, our milk was in a glass bottle, and it was a little too heavy for me, and I dropped it and it broke. And that was, that small little circumstance, that small little blip where my mom reacted in anger. Well, I understand that anger now, but as a child, like I was 5. Well, I think I was almost 5. It was, very detrimental, and that's my
Mhm.
very first memory, because I try to go back, like, what's the very first thing I remember? My other favorite question is, "What did you wanna be when you grew up?" Like, the first time you remember answering that question. So I kinda like those 2 really are impregnated in my mind as my catalyst point, and again, it doesn't seem that big of a deal. My mom was upset, I broke some milk, but the fact that I ruined something, I let my mom down. All I was trying to do was help. And I felt like that again, very small, very, very small little child, but that was my whole world crumbling down. And then
Yeah.
I did have, you know, fun little other childhood traumas, which were catalyst moments in my life.
Sure.
Um, Sexual
But
abuse is so common to hear in women. It's almost abnormal to hear someone that didn't experience it, which I don't want to call it heartbreaking because words are very powerful. Um, I don't even like the word hate. I ask people to refrain from using it. Actually, at Runic, I don't know if you know this, but I brought a bell when they first opened. So every time someone used the word hate, I would ring it. So they would, and just people passing by, we don't realize we just get in that redundant, like, regurgitation of words that we just hear a lot.
Mhm.
I don't know where I was going with this, but childhood trauma is really what stemmed me from to my driving point.
Oh, no, that and you touched on something you had said, when people ask you what you wanna be when you grow up.
Yeah,
So when you were younger, what did this come to mind?
in a roundabout way. Yes, I
Okay.
remember the very first time someone asked me, Emily, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I said, I want to be a doctor on roller skates because I want to get to people really fast to help them heal.
Okay.
Well, Reiki is energy healing, or it's just
Mhm.
healing through your palm of your hands. It just
Right.
helps facilitate. And as you know, we're not doing anything. Like the Reiki practitioner is just a conduit. It is the
Yep.
person that's coming there. It is their, it's all their good stuff. We're just holding space and helping, kind of get from point A to point B. I like Nicole said it once, where someone's trying to find an entrance into the forest, and you just happen to be outside the forest, and you just say, "Oh, the entry is right there." You're just helping.
Yep.
It's a very simple gesture, still a very honorable gesture. I take it very seriously. I follow,
Mhm.
like, the rules. But, yeah, going back to what I wanted to be as a child, I wanted to be a doctor on roller skates, not blades, skates, so remember that. Then I wanted to be a mermaid, and then I wanted to be a witch. So, I mean, looking back at it, like, if I really, like like, do, intersect that, or I don't know the right word. But if I look deeper into those answers, I'm a Cancer, so I'm a water sign. I am very empathetic. Um, it is a blessing and a curse because I can feel a lot of emotions. So going to
Mhm.
places where there's a lot of energy sometimes can be a little overwhelming and a little nauseating. Um, and I'm working on that. I'm still a work in progress, but it's getting better.
We
So that's
all are
what
always a work in progress.
left. It is. It's an honor to be in
Yep.
progress. I
Yes.
couldn't imagine being bored. Like, "Mm, no thanks."
Yep.
So with the mermaid, in my mind, as a small child, I think that because water represents life and emotions, for that element, so it's a
Mhm.
very empathic sign, zodiac sign. So I think my little tiny brain incorporated mermaids with that, and then which is just taking the tools that we're given in life and turning them into what our goal is. I mean, even
Mhm.
when I make soup, I always tell my girls, I'm like, well, this is witchcraft. It's also science, but it's witchcraft because you're taking herbs, you're taking something tangible, you're realizing what goes with what, why they go with the things that we need them to go with, and the purpose for it. That to me is witchcraft
Okay.
in a good way.
In
So
a good way. I'm glad that you explained that for people because for some people who don't understand, it has this negative connotation, which it's not at all.
no,
It's a very positive thing. So it's working with the herbs and working with the earth and the planet.
yep.
Yeah.
And lighting a candle for prayer. I mean, that is
Yes. I know
if
I love how you do the candles during the Reiki. I love that you do that.
oh yeah,
Oh,
thank you. I like to
yeah.
call in spirit that way because I
Mhm.
am that water sign. So I think about all of the elements that I want to call in and each direction and to have it balanced as best as
Right.
possible.
Yeah. So I know you touched base on this in the beginning a little, and you said it's in the future, but can you explain a little bit more about Akashic Records for someone who's never heard about
Ooh,
it or what it is?
thank you. And a lot of it's a weird, not a weird, words are powerful. It's a little bit more uncommon than the average. And all metaphysical stuff is a little bit unorthodox, so to say. But if you think of the Akashic records like a library of everything to ever happen, past, present, and future. So when you go into the records, again, very simple prayer that goes along with it. Um, Anybody can do it. Anybody can do anything that they're drawn to.
Mhm.
The Your frequency has to be a little bit higher. So like you cannot be in a place where you'll be in an argument in the future or had recently been in an argument, like in your personal life. So you have to have a very zen life for the most part. You can't be on any substance of any sort, drinking pharmaceutical medication. And I'm not saying don't take your medication because I'm not a doctor. Um, but I don't. I was on 13 medications. I'm on zero now.
Good for
Um,
you. That's
it was
amazing.
Thank you. It was, and some of them were very hard. I remember getting down and down and down. I think it was like 2 years ago. I came to you and I was like, oh my God, I'm only on one more medication.
I
I don't know if you,
remember that.
yeah, I've been off
That-
now. Super clarity. Like the clarity is, I didn't realize the brain fog and some of the medications were so habit forming and addictive and they just made me a different person. Anyways, to get to the Akashic records, no drinking, no drugs, no, very, very clear, very, very zen. And
Okay.
what's interesting about it is because there's different levels of divination where you can get answers from spirit, where yes and no's. That's a very common one with either dowsing rods, pendulums, that sort. Even that
Okay.
reflex test. But with the Akashic records, it is everything but yes and no questions. So who, what, where, when, how, why. It is more that deep dive in psychological, like um, those kind of questions. It's just
Okay.
it's a resource to get some answers and clarity, but no yes or no questions.
Wow. I can't wait till you roll that out.
It's out there. There's other readers too. So if you come
Yeah.
across someone in your life, go for it. You got nothing to lose.
Right. I mean, because I think it's amazing. People always want easy yes or no, but like you said, it's more of a deep dive to find
Yeah,
out what's my purpose here and, why did this happen? And, like I said, the everything that's ever happened to you, past, present, and future.
it's kind of like so you're familiar with quantum healing hypnosis therapy as a QHHT practitioner. I mean, you're
Yes.
a hypnotherapist, you're a Reiki
Yeah.
master teacher. You are such an inspiration in my life. You're one of my
Oh,
catalysts, my
thank
mentor.
you.
Thank you. Like thank yourself. I mean, I love it. But when you put people under and they get to those questions subconsciously for
Yes.
the Akashic records, it's just kind of like a shortcut.
Okay.
That's really what it kind of comes
I
down
love
to.
that. Yeah.
Um, but so it might not resonate with people. Some people, most people, in my opinion, resonate more towards hypnotherapy because it's a little bit more common than just someone having a conversation.
It's that somebody we don't talk about Akashic records as much, right? Like this in
Yeah.
the spiritual world or, in the community, yes, but for a lot of other people, they're just kind of unsure what it is. They hear the term, but they don't know what it is. So I'm glad that you explained it. And I agree with you. It can be like a shortcut to get where you need to go to get the answers that you need, you
Yeah.
know, and the
And
healing that you need.
and
So
deserve.
and just yes, we all deserve the answers. I totally agree with that. So where do you want to take where do you see yourself in the future? What other modalities, are you just staying with, you do an amazing job with the Reiki that you do now and the healing and the Akashic records that you're working on. And I know you've done EFT tapping as well. And I'm sure you do other things that I don't even know. But where do you see in the future going a little bit?
Oh, you know, very good question. As we all have goals, um, just every day in every way, I want to get better, better, and better. And that's actually a mantra that I do. Every day in every way, I am getting better, better, and better. So my future timeline, it's just as long as it's better, and it will be, and it is. It's
And it's
already
going
done.
to change. Yeah. And it's probably going to change. Mine changes all the time.
Yeah.
You know,
My first, goal many years ago when I first was going into this was I wanted to open a healing, um, like a place where people can go to get different types of healing. That is not in my cards, but I'm aligned with people who are involved. Like that was where I was supposed to go to be a
yeah,
part of a group of people where they offer different types of healing. As long as that timeline continues, I am
yeah,
more than thrilled, and that's where I'm meant to be.
yeah.
How I can help myself and others, um, that's going to be my long-term goal.
Oh, love that. So I know that you provide the Reiki. Do you want to let viewers know like how they can get a hold of you if they want to schedule a Reiki session, or I don't know if you're doing Akashic sessions yet or EFT,
Not yet.
whatever sessions you're doing, how can they get a hold of you?
Well, my favorite hotspot is Runic Apothecary. It's
Yes.
844 Willard Drive in Ashwaubenon. The number is 920-544-0048. You can call anytime they're in scheduling. I think Nicole, one of the owners, my best friend, you're my best friend. They're starting actually online appointments soon. They're redoing their website, I think.
Yeah, they're getting their website redone and they're going to start looking at that. I know a lot of like where I go through with Wix, they have started when I do my sessions now, people can schedule online and get like tickets supposedly. There's a lot of places that are making it easier for us small businesses to do online scheduling, which I think is great because it just makes it so much easier.
It is because we live in a world of instant gratification. I think it started with microwaves, but probably like air conditioning. But it's accessible, it's there. Go wherever you're called. But here, I even have a little runic apothecary. Oh, it's probably gonna be backwards.
No,
Well,
it might be backwards when we show it, we play it. I don't know, but I love it. Yeah. So Runic Apothecary, I practice there too. They're amazing. Are you there any set days or just call and schedule you?
I do classes there. Magic of the month every
Okay.
third Friday of the month.
Oh,
So
okay.
last month it was on esoteric and ethereal sigils and symbols. So
Okay.
just a little bit more tangible information on those symbols and how to incorporate them with your prayer and why you're doing your prayer that way. So
What
I'm
time
there
are those classes? You said
seven,
that.
sorry, 6 to 7, 7:30.
Okay.
And that's the third Saturday or the third Friday, apologize, of the month. And then I'm typically there every other Tuesday. But really I kind of just go on as needed as a basis. So people, if they call and they schedule or they contact me directly, if they text me or email me, um, or you Facebook, we have those social media platforms. I will adhere to other people's schedules because everything's always changing. Sometimes people need to cancel because that's the universe working the way it needs to, and I respect and understand it. But anytime if you were to call Runic Apothecary, just schedule with myself, with you, with Nicole, any of the guys there. And You'll find
Everybody's wonderful there. Yes,
it is home.
it
It
is.
really
I'll tell you, yeah, and not to um, get off the subject, but yes, if you walk into a Runic Apothecary located in Green Bay, Wisconsin, you walk through those doors, you feel like you're just coming home. Anybody in
yeah.
the spiritual community, it is just a warm, welcoming place to go. So when we post this, I'll make sure that I get all the information as far as phone numbers to contact you, email to contact you to set up an appointment to do the Reiki. Emily is wonderful. Um, and I highly recommend her for Reiki and whatever. And I've not been to your other classes on those Fridays, so I'm going to have to check that out. I'm excited about that. So
Yeah,
anything
magic of the
else?
month.
Yeah. Yeah, I know I saw it the other day and I was like, oh, I wonder if it's doing this. So I
I
love
didn't
it.
realize the acronym kind of spells out mom, magic of the month.
Mhm.
Nicole
That's
pointed that
okay.
out. I'm like, oh, I love that.
That's
Um,
kind of cool.
just
So
other tools for the toolbox to help people on their spiritual journey.
yeah, but you know what? We can all use tools for the toolbox. As the world, as we progress and the world gets a little more complicated, and we all try to navigate to finding each other, right? For that universal love and light, and how can we help each other? So, anything else that you want anyone watching to know?
I want everyone to know how amazing you are.
Oh, well, thank you. My goodness, I wasn't expected.
Oh, expect the unexpected.
I know. I was
No,
like, okay, now I'm gonna blush.
oh no, it's an honor to have found this life and this path and to be your friend. It really is something I don't take lightly. I
Yeah.
do nightly prayers. Every time I interact with anyone during the day, I make a mental note and I do a specific prayer for that person at the end of the day. But then I also have my set list also. You, Brett, Nicole, the kids,
Yeah.
our little pack, our posse, Matt Schmidt, Whitney Hubelman's, like our all the people that are really in the location that we're at that are out there
Mhm.
spreading light every day. And sometimes we don't even realize it. Um, I thank and I honor them every night. And then the people I interact with
During the
randomly.
day.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, again, right there is, you said couldn't answer that question about what sets you apart or makes you special. Like right there, that is amazing that you do that. That touches my heart. And yeah, we're out there spreading love and light. We're not out there, and I don't care what people want to believe in. It's all inclusive, and but you're allowed to believe in what you want to believe in. And I think that's one of the greatest things about our spiritual community. So thank you so much, Emily, for letting me interview you today.
thank
And
you.
I just hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.
All right, you take care. And we're going to say goodbye for now for this podcast. This is, I'm going to say my second unofficial one, but it'll be out there. And I have someone else a little later today I'll be interviewing as well to get my third one out there. So, Emily, you have a beautiful day, my dear soul.
Thank you. You too.
Namaste.
Namaste.